Hey guys, Tyler here. In this video, I want to share with you the best advice that I would give to a realtor, a new realtor going into 2022. And we're going to be going over just really four pieces of advice that I would give any brand new real estate agent going into 2022. And really before we get into those four, I really want to establish why you should consider listening to some of these things that I'm going to share with you here in a minute. And really it comes down to three things. Number one, real estate is very, very lonely. You are in charge of yourself. You are fully responsible for the actions that you're going to take. And whether those actions are either good or bad or no action whatsoever, it can be very lonely and there's no motivating factor. You're not having a boss tell you you need to be at work at 9 a.m. and if you don't show up, you're fired. That doesn't exist in real estate. So that's number one. Number two, 95% of realtors fail in the first 5 years of getting into the business. The first 5 years are the most important part of your real estate career, because it's during these 5 years that you're learning the business, you're learning what to say, you're picking up good or bad habits that could either hurt you or benefit you for the rest of your career, and really you don't have a referral basis yet. And typically after 5 years, you start getting that referral basis where you get repeat clients. So you really have to make a very strong, good first impression to the people you're working with and do a phenomenal job for them to get repeat business years down the road. So if you're not being active, you're not going to get that business in the first 5 years. So these four things are really going to help you establish yourself as a top realtor. And number three is the average number of homes sold by the average agent is 6. Only 6 homes a year. You can't feed your family on 6 homes. If you think of the average commission as $4,500, let's say $4,500 to $6,000, times 6, that's $36,000 a year. And that's if you're not splitting it at all. I mean, that is extremely low. So 6 deals, my friend, is not a lot. And really your first year as a real estate agent, you should be shooting for 15, 20, 30, 40 homes and really push yourself to be able to get the revenue that you want to see. And these 4 items are really, really going to help you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with number one. And number one is, I've shared this many times before, and that is joining a team. That is probably the best piece of advice I can give you as a absolute brand new realtor coming into 2022 when it's cutthroat out there, when I've had realtors writing 3, 4, 5, 6 offers for the same client because they keep losing because people are overbidding on properties. You need the support of a team for a couple reasons. Number one, it's going to shorten your learning curve significantly. You're going to be able to see what a top producer does from the end, pull back the curtain, see behind the curtain, and see what a top producer actually does is invaluable. I didn't have that. I had to learn on my own. And I didn't even end up learning on my own. I had to pay money to go to classes and courses and learn from some of the best that I paid for because I didn't and wasn't on a team. I spent thousands of dollars when by going a part of a team and giving up part of your commission for 1, 2, 3 years is the best educational course you can take as a real estate agent. It's going to save you years of time. And when I mean years of time, I'm not only meaning by what they do, but habits that are instilled in top producers that you can actually implement, and you can see how a top producer performs. What do they do in their morning routine? What do they do when they're with their clients? How are they responding? How quickly are they getting to people? How professional are they? You get to learn those things from a top producer. That's invaluable. And then the third thing about being a part of a team is Real estate is lonely. I said that at the very beginning. That is one of the biggest negatives of real estate. If you don't have a community around you, you feel like you're on an island. You feel like you're the only one going through this. You don't realize that there's a solution that is as simple as a script that you can just rattle off and like magic, it works, but you never know that if you're not in community, if you're not a part of a team. And being a part of a team is the fastest way to have support and people around you that want to see you succeed as a real estate agent. So hands down, get on a team. Tip number 2 is get on social media. Now, I really don't care what platform you on, because honestly, at the end of the day, they're all going to work. Should you be on multiple? My opinion is probably yes. Facebook is a big one. Instagram is a big one. TikTok is an up and coming one. We have Snapchat is also out there that people use. You need to be in front of people. And guys, social media is the biggest form of free advertising for free branding that is out there. If you think back just 20 years ago, maybe you weren't even born yet. I don't know at what age you are, but just 20 years ago, if somebody wanted to brand themselves and get out in front of a lot of people, it was through radio. It was through television, and that was tens of thousands of dollars to be able to do that. And now you can have an audience on YouTube for free. Zero cost to you, and you can have an audience. People listening to what you have to say. Getting on social media, getting on a platform that has a larger, broader audience is imperative to your success. You as a realtor are a commodity. I could ditch you and grab another one in a day like that. So what makes you stand out amongst all of the other realtors? Why is someone going to choose you? Couple reasons. One, because you're constantly in front of them, top of mind. When you think of a burger restaurant, what do you think of? You think of two. First, probably McDonald's. Second is Burger King. When you think of a pharmacy, you probably think of Walgreens. And then number 2 is a CVS. There's always a number 1 and number 2. People will always have that. And you have to be at top of mind, and social media is a great platform for that. In addition to that, we're talking about branding here. This is your opportunity to brand yourself. You think of actors in the movies. They are branded by the movies they create. You watch that movie, you see how they act, and you fall in love with that character. And when that character, let's say Denzel's one of my favorite, does another movie, guess what? You want to see that movie because he's in it. The same goes for you as a real estate agent. When you brand yourself as the expert, people see you as the expert and want to work with the expert because they want to work with the best. Now, there are a couple things that I would recommend you do to be consistent on social media, and this is what I call the 5-3-1 strategy. And you can do this every single day. The 5-3-1 strategy, that is liking 5 different posts, that's commenting on 3 different posts, and that is sending one private message every single day. One private message to connect with somebody on a deeper, more meaningful level. In addition to those 3 things, posting a live or some type of video content once to twice a week, educating people, sharing about a home that you looked at, showing a home that you looked at, whatever it is. Figure out your niche, figure out what you're comfortable with. Maybe you don't want to show yourself. So you're like, hey, I'm at an open house and I want to give you guys a tour. And you just do a live tour of the open house. Really, really simple. Watch Instagram, see what other people are doing, but get and be on social media. Hands down, you won't regret it. And I promise you, if you be consistent on it for 1, 2, 3 months, I promise you, you'll get somebody to say something to you. You'll get somebody that will notice you, and that's going to build that confidence that you're going in the right direction. Okay, so tip number 3 is really putting your hands to something and committing to it for a set period of time. A lot of times, in this market or in this real estate industry, when everything is the new and shiny thing, it's like, ooh, I want to try that. Ooh, I want to try that. Ooh, that looks good. And then you try it, you spend money for a month, 2-3 months, and it doesn't work. And you're like, oh, that doesn't work. And then you go to this and you try it and it doesn't work. Well, the reality is you're not going to become the master of something in 3 months. You're not going to see the top results of something in 3 months. If you do, well, then you need to hang on to that one because that one's working, my friend. But most things take time. So, suggestion and tip number 3, pick 3 forms of lead generation and commit yourself to that for 6 to 9 months. If it's open houses, which I highly recommend, do 1 to 2 open houses every week for 6 to 9 months. You will, I promise you, you will see a return. And if you're not, and you're about to quit, don't quit. Go to somebody else, analyze what you're doing, see how you can improve it, and then learn from it. Hands down. Open houses are great. Maybe pay for a lead source. Don't do those, hey, I can get you on top of Google. I have 800 people searching the term homes for sale in Lincoln, Nebraska. Don't do any of that crap. Do something like Realtor.com, something in a small zip code and that you can manage, and so you can start getting leads. In addition to that, you can also do what's called OpCity. It's a referral-based lead generation system where they'll send you leads. And all you have to do is pay a referral fee. It's a great opportunity, and it's something that you should definitely check out. But get into those lead generation sites where you can get some leads and start working with people right away. Now, there's so many others that you can include in there. Social media could be one. Door knocking could be one. Sending letters, doing postcards to neighborhoods, writing personal notes to people, and just doing that on a consistent basis for 6 to 9 months. And I promise you, you will see a return. And if you don't, that's okay. Take it off your list after 6 months and then find something else and commit to that one, and you will see significant growth in your real estate career. Now that leads us to number 4, and number 4 is about creating good habits. Guys, you're starting out. This is where habits are created. If you don't create intentional habits, you'll create passive habits. What I mean by passive is not that they're going to be lazy habits. No, they're going to be subconscious. They're going to be different way. For example, I remember whenever I would pull into my garage, I would sit back in my chair, take a deep breath like this, and then I would grab my phone and I would start scrolling. I created a habit without realizing that I was creating a habit, and I'd sit there for 15 or 20 minutes and I'm like, oh crap, I just let 15-20 minutes go by in the middle of my workday. You can't do that, because if you don't, and if you're not intentional in the habits you create, your subconscious will create your own set of habits that you fall into. Maybe it's hitting that alarm 3, 4, 5 times. Maybe it's rolling over instead of getting out of bed right away. Maybe it's instead of starting work right away, maybe it's getting on social media right away. Maybe it's watching a TV show when you shouldn't be and you should be working. Maybe it's not making a phone call and instead just doing more research on YouTube, because it's easier to do research on YouTube than actually implementing the things you've already learned. Don't do it yet. Finish this video. After you finish this video, implement the stuff that you're learning instead of letting life create a habit for you. A phenomenal book that I would encourage you to read is called Atomic Habits. I'll put a link down in the description for you. Atomic Habits. It's a great book. If you like Audible, I'll put a link down for that in the description as well. But it teaches you to build small and stack habits on top of habits on top of habits. So, for example, if you wake up in the morning and you already have a habit of brushing your teeth, well, they're going to encourage you to not only brush your teeth, but implement an additional new habit on top of the first one. And then it's just boom, 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 boom. And you start creating a lifestyle of good habits instead of letting life take over. And even implementing some of these activities. So for example, every day, 9 a.m., the first thing I do is I make 10 contacts. Here, I'm looking at it right here. It's just a piece of paper. I make my 10 contacts. I do my 10 follow-up touches. I do my social media touches, my 531s that I'm doing. I write a personal note. I work on my 2 videos for the week. I work on my 1 email per week, and then I work on my 1 social media video post that I'm doing per week. And that's what I do every single day. Every single day. I created a habit for it. And if you can create these habits, guys, I promise you, you will not be part of that statistics where you're getting out of the business in the first 5 years, but you will be the exception. I believe in you. You can do it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them down in the description or down in the comments. Also in the description, guys, check out our Facebook group for newer agents. It's where we want to collaborate. And if you feel like you're on an island, come on, join us and let's collaborate together and let's build a strong community of agents to see other agents be successful and not be a part of that statistic. Thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.